So I feel like I just did my first vlog, but there's a story from this past Friday night that was literally so amazing that I could not resist doing another video about it. So without further ado, story time. Alright, now before we get into the juicy part, gotta give you the full lowdown on the context. So, last week at work was really interesting. We worked through a lot of stuff, and so my coworkers, Jackie and Steph, they were just like, hey, wanna go grab sushi with us? And, you know, I'm honestly not that spontaneous. I'm a little boring, and I tend to just like wrap up my stuff, go home, put on some sweats, and call it a night. But I was just like, you know what, like, we worked through a lot of stuff. I'm really just kind of open, and I wanted to do something, but I wasn't sure what. Just like, sure, let's go ahead and do it. And then turns out that Jackie had made reservations at Benihana and said it was my birthday. So it was already set to be a really interesting ride. So we take the subway, we're starving, super excited for our hibachi meals. And then we get there, and tell me why during the summer a place is hotter inside than it is outside, especially in New York. The place is freaking like a sauna. Like, they had the air, it was supposed to probably be cool air, but they had heat blaring right when you walk through the door. People were just like gathered around this giant swamp cooler in the middle of the floor, and it's just like, okay, what's going on here? So then we made the reservation for 7:45, and come 7:45, like, didn't seem like we were being seated anytime soon. So long story short, we waited like 30 minutes to be seated. So finally, 8:15-ish, we're escorted upstairs. We're told we can go upstairs, not even escorted, but we were told we can go upstairs, check in with the host, and we'd be taken to our table. So then we go upstairs, and we're just like, okay, yeah, reservation. Jackie's like, reservation for Jackie. And he's like, oh, it looks like you're at a table with Tracy. And we're just like, who's Tracy? And he's like, you'll see. Bro, like, bro. We walk towards the table, we turn the corner, and we look at the very end of the table, and it's freaking Tracy Morgan. Like, I don't know about many of you, but like, celebrity like sightings or encounters are still pretty rare for me. Like, I'm from Colorado. You don't go to Chili's, you don't go to Applebee's, and then all of a sudden randomly run into like a famous person. Like, that's just not how it works. But literally, it was Tracy Morgan, and like, that's a big deal to me. He's huge. Like everybody knows him, and so it's just like, okay, we like instantly we're just like, okay, like, channel your cool. Like, it took so much power for me to be cool. Like, but I think that we did such a great job. Like, we just sat at the table, like, they were in the middle of a conversation. We weren't just like gawking at them or getting too crazy. We were just like, okay, here we go. And so we're just like easing into it. We don't want to like jump into the conversation. We don't want to just be obvious or too like, oh my gosh, too starstruck. So it's just like, we're going with the flow. So the guy comes around, takes our orders, still playing it cool. Meanwhile, low-key freaking out on the inside. Like, I can't even describe to you, like, we didn't know what to do. Like, it was just like, do we look at them? Do we not look at them? Do we look at our phone? Can we take pictures? Like, it was just like almost not like paralysis, but it was like the most amazing state of paralysis I think I've ever been in my life, and like, it was crazy. So we're just kind of going with the flow still, like, getting ready for some food, order some drinks, trying to ease into some conversation with some of his entourage to our right. And so it's just still pretty cool, but we're just still freaking out and like texting people like, I cannot believe what's happening right now. It's interesting because the people who are at the table in front of us, they like, most of them kind of got up and left. Tracy's doing some jokes, like blah, blah, blah. But then we kind of get a chance to like engage. And so then Jackie's like, oh, it's Xavier's birthday. And so it's just like, he's like, happy birthday. And so like, mind you, I guess at Benihana they do like this, bring out ice cream, and they sing you happy birthday. So not only were we sitting there at a dinner table with Tracy Morgan, but at the end of the dinner, already knowing that they're gonna sing happy birthday to me, and he's sitting right there, like, I'm dead. Like, I was dead. I was 6 feet under. And so anyway, these new people come around to the table that in front of us, and that's the definition of not cool. Like, they were already almost immediately freaking out, like already gawking, already starting to act up and trying to show up. And it was just really interesting. There was one person I thought was pretty cool. There's this guy in this dare shirt that his face just looked like a little child. Like, he just kept doing like that. Like, he just couldn't believe it. Like, that's how we felt. But like, we were just, me, Steph, and Jack were just keeping our cool like so well. Like, I'm so proud of us still. And so I made eye contact with that dare guy, and then he just goes like this. Like, we had a moment. Then he tried to come over and just kind of be like, oh, bro, like, what's going on? How you guys doing? And then Jackie's like, I'm sorry, this is a private table. Literally, queen. Like, she's the best. So anyway, they're gawking. We're keeping our cool. We got some drinks. We're having dinner. The chef's already at the table cooking some stuff up. And we're having some minor chit chat with Tracy. No big deal. I'm trying to, like, I put it on my story, but I was able to get a low-key clip of Tracy, like, as he was just kind of conversing and still kind of chill. I didn't want to be too obvious, but I mean, it was the best I could do. And so here's the clip. So just super in the moment, really getting into it, order another drink, like literally when I was high, like the adrenaline was pumping, like I just felt like I was on a drug I've never been on before. It was absolutely insane, like making eye contact. There was one point where Tracy was just like getting into this deep like conversation about like, oh, just because I have these chains, like I'm still down to earth, I keep it real, like to the 1%, like I'm still a minority. Like you think Bill Gates and like Oprah, like they're still a minority to these top people. He's like, and that's spiritual. Like he was just going on some deep stuff, and I was like 100%, like totally fucking into it. Like I can't even like explain to you. So anyway, we're just kind of still going with the flow. Like I'm just in there deep in the food, like still just trying to keep my cool. And so at one point, I hear him say like, it's like, I think it's towards the end of dinner, and like they're like we're about to wrap up, and I hear him say like, oh yeah, I can't like cover this, and I thought he was just like, you know, typical, like just covering his crew. It's just like, yeah, I mean, we're gonna cover our food, but then he says, happy birthday, man, and I'm just like, what? And like Jackie and stuff are just like, he paid for our dinner, and I look, and then I'm just like, wait, what? And like like when his executive producer for his new show, the Real OG. She was just like, oh, he's catching up, and I was just like, I didn't realize, literally Tracy Morgan just paid for our freaking dinner. He paid for our meals. He paid for the whole table. He's like, yeah, I covered the table. Happy birthday, brother. And I'm just like, what do you do? There's nothing to do other than die. You're dead. It's over. Like you're on a whole other level. Like we made it. Like at that point, that's where I realized that we made it. Like, and then of course they come out with the birthday, the ice cream. Everybody's clapping, happy birthday, everyone, like, it's just all like, I'm dead, I'm dead, like, I just, like, everyone's at my funeral at that very moment, like, there's just nothing else I could do, freaking out. And then even this random guy behind us, apparently he's like, hey dude, it's my birthday too, man, happy birthday. I'm just like, this isn't real life anymore, like, I don't understand what's going on. And so, anyway, we were wrapping up, time to go. Tracy and Cruz getting up to leave, and like of course the freaking people at the dinner table in front of us, they're just like, Tracy, like people freaking out, you know how it goes. So then I'm like shaking hands with like his entourage as they leave, nice to meet you. Then Tracy comes up, I get up, I give him a hug, he's like, happy birthday, brother, like enjoy, I'm serious. And I'm just like, oh my god, like you can't make these things up, like you can't predict these things, like literally Jackie, queen, like set the whole thing up, anyway, before I just get caught up in the moment again and like just freaking out, I'm so glad I have this mask on to kind of keep my face contained. Like I was dead, and I had this face like where I just was gone. Anyway, so that was my Friday night, literally the best Friday night I think I've ever had in my life. Like we were all just at that point like texting people, like Instagram storying, like we freaking made it. Like that's what it feels like to make it, when you're like, the way people treat you, the way people look at you, the way you feel, the way the experience, it felt like the longest dinner of my life, the longest best dinner of my life. Like you made it. So the best drug I've ever had. Can't wait to get high like that again. Trying to do this every Friday night, trying to make a ritual, because you never know in New York City who you're gonna run across. Love being here. How to share that full story with you. Gonna write a full blog about it. Check out the website for the full details. Links in the description. But if you love Tracy Morgan, and if you've ever had a celebrity experience, like leave a comment, tell me all about it. Give this video a like. If you're new to Instagram and haven't checked out my page, go ahead and check it out. Give me a follow. And if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. You know, I think we're getting into it these days. So looking forward to hearing about your celebrity encounters, and I'll keep you posted if I encounter anybody else.